So what are some of the biggest issues that you would say keep guys from finding and attracting women?
I say this. I think what happens is now, now more than ever, it's gonna be harder for guys to attract women if they don't know how to do it. Because before, it was kind of like, okay, I could probably get some money. I could, get my status up, all these different things. And that helped a little bit back in the day as far as just attracting a woman.
Gotcha.
Now what happens is because of social media, because of dating apps, all these different things, right? It's going to be harder because all the things that you could have got a chick from before, they've already been through it. So meaning, because I heard even a lot of guys say it's hard on dating apps now. It's like they can't even get a date on dating apps.
Yeah,
the reason why it's hard on dating apps now is because all the girls that you're trying to smash already got smashed by all the guys that they want to get smashed by.
Facts.
So now you trying to smash, and she's like, I'm tired of that. I want a guy that cares about me. All the girls that you trying to make something happen with, another guy came before and gave her the money you was going to give her. They was going to give her the clout you was going to give her. They had the better status than you had. All those things that you thought can get you the girl, you can't use that anymore. This is why
it's not novel anymore.
Right, exactly. And this is why we harp on game. You have to have game because game gives you the thing that nothing else can, which means that game makes you one of one, meaning that if a girl is talking to Fresh, for example, and she likes Fresh, she can only get Fresh by going to Fresh, period. So that's the thing. But a lot of guys out there are trying to be like everybody else instead of being themselves. That's the issue. You see what I'm saying?
And to add to what he's saying, as far as in not understanding how to be like yourself and how to enhance what self is.
Right.
I'll say another thing that's stopping men is the single parent mother household. Okay. Now listen, I'm not even gonna get into females and all that other shit. But here's the thing: psychologically, the young man because he had no father in the house to kind of prove himself to. He's always been proving himself to a woman. So what happens is, with all the difficulties that Lacaria just talked about the dating game and this and that and this, even when you get enough courage to go talk to a woman, that instance of going up to talk to her, it's like in that man's mind, he's trying to prove himself to the woman.
Right.
Instead of saying to himself, I'm the guy. I'm one of one. I'm Fresh. There's only one Fresh. There's only one Miles. There's only one Lacaria. There's only one Myron. Right? So I am going to meet this woman and check if she's qualified for me.
Exactly.
Because there's only one me. But it's the opposite with these guys. They're trying to prove themselves and they don't even know this bitch.
Right.
I mean, she looked good, whatever. And they're like, oh my God, she's bad, bro. She looks like wifey material. I have to prove myself to her. No. Look at what you just said. She's wifey material. That means you're trying to make her a wife. Shouldn't she have to prove herself to you?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm trying to give you the privilege of having my last name. I'm trying to give you the privilege of security, taking care of you, the masculine presence and confidence and all these things. I'm trying to give that to this woman, but I'm trying to prove myself to her. She should be proving herself to me.
That's a fact.
And guys don't understand that part. They're like, Miles, what are you talking about? I'm the one that's attracted to her. Why would she try to prove herself to me? Yo, she's a fucking woman. She's a woman. She's a woman. Like, the only thing that's keeping her from the savagery of life is everything that a man has built in this world.
Facts.
So she should be proving herself to us. And if she's not, you leave her where she stands and find the woman that is willing to, submit to a certain extent to say, oh, well, let me see what this guy's about. If he's hollering at me, he's offering me a drink date. He's offering me to spend some time. Let me put my best foot forward. If she's not putting her best foot forward, it's time for you to leave her alone. But like I said, most guys, if she doesn't want to put her best foot forward, now he's begging. He's like, baby, please, what's the matter? Well, you got a boyfriend or something? Right. Maybe I could be your friend. I wanted your number, but I'll take your Instagram. It's like, you're still trying to prove yourself to the girl.
Look, Harry, you made a point about trying to be other people rather than be yourself, right?
Right.
And I look at it from a fast food standpoint, for fast food, right? Imagine you're McDonald's trying to be Wendy's,
right?
Or Chick-fil-A,
right?
Shit don't work.
Exactly.
You are one of one for a reason. Your fries, your tenders, whatever it may be, that is you.
Right.
Changing that means you're a copycat.
Right, and that's what having game is. Having game is understanding yourself and your masculine identity. Shout out to Miles. Miles have a website called Masculine Identity Membership where we talk about that stuff. So this is the thing. What happens is and what Miles is saying is this: a lot of guys, what they do is they see a girl and they're attracted to the girl, so they're trying to get the girl to like them, right? I don't give a fuck about a girl liking me. What happens is when you have game, what you're saying is I already know I'm likable. I already know I'm attractive. I already know I'm that guy. So when I meet a woman, right, what happens is that when I'm talking to her, all I'm looking for is if she is what I want to deal with. I don't care about her wanting to deal with me. I'm only thinking, is she someone I want to deal with? And that's what a lot of guys can't do. And a lot of guys can't do that because they don't actually love themselves and believe in themselves. So what happens is you can't go up to a girl with that confidence and that arrogance, right? And basically have that conversation with her if you don't believe you're the shit.
Exactly.
So this is why it's so hard for a lot of guys to understand this, because a lot of guys see us and they're like, man, Lucario Miles be talking all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? These dudes don't know what they talking about. They ain't got no six pack. They not 6 feet. It's a cope. They don't know how to get girls. They say all this stupid stuff. But what happens is the reason why I was able to basically sleep with hundreds of girls, like I stopped counting after damn near 300. The reason why I was able to have a wife and a girlfriend, the reason why I was able to do all these things when it comes to the dating game is because I had 100% confidence in who I am. So meaning that I'm good with or without a woman.
Facts.
Most guys are only good or feel good when they with a woman. You see what I'm saying? So your confidence got to be crazy. You see what I mean?
Facts.
How does a guy get the confidence to be by himself, and then if he wants to get a girl, where does that come from? Is it innate? Is it a skill you have to learn? Where does it come from? The confidence.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's already within you. This is the problem. So, check this out. What happens is most guys don't have that confidence because they've been tricked into thinking that they're not that guy. So what happens is this, right? Who you are is already within you. The problem is the world has told you you're not good enough unless you have this amount of money. You're not good enough unless you look like this. You're not good enough unless you have that. So what happens is that once you stop listening to that nonsense and then you start only giving a fuck about what you want and what you're about, then that's when things start to happen for you. So what happens is this: whenever I'm talking to a woman, I'm only looking for her to reflect who I am. So what happens is the confidence comes in when, for example, if I'm talking to a girl and she's begging to see me, she's texting me, she's like, I miss you, I love you, I do all these things, right? Everything she's saying is everything I've said to myself 1,000,000 times. So what happens is that I already recognize that I'm that guy because everything I do, everything I touch, everything that's happening in my life is a reflection of me. So a lot of times what happens is most guys, their reflection is people shitting on them, people telling them they're not enough, people telling them that they don't mean anything. And what happens is that reflection is correct right now because that's how they feel about themselves. So everybody in your life is telling you something about you. You see what I'm saying? It's a reflection. But when you have confidence, when you understand who the fuck you are, all of those things, when you're dealing with women, you only deal with women who reflect you. So if I talk to a girl today, I walk up to her and I say, hey, how you doing? And she gives me a dirty look or she sucks her teeth and she don't want to talk to me. That's the end of the conversation because obviously she doesn't recognize value. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I only deal with women who recognize the same value I recognize in myself. But that comes from having that understanding within you first, and then you start to see the world transform around you. This is how deep the game is. You see what I'm saying?
I think it's really important that you address something there that I think a lot of guys don't understand. You said as soon as the girl shows some type of, behavior that is not conducive to your success, you cut her right away. I think a lot of guys kind of come in and say, oh, I hope she likes me.
Right.
And they'll try to build attraction with a very low interest girl, which it's absolutely possible, right? But is it really worth it and feasible? I would say no.
Right.
But I think a lot of guys kind of had this idea where I'm just going to chase after her. I'm going to do all this, sucker shit and I'll eventually get her. But even if you do get her, you got her under the wrong pretenses.
Right.
So can you talk to the guys a little bit about dealing with women and having the skill set to be able to identify girls that have low interest and moving on versus like trying to make something work with that girl?
Right. You go ahead. I'll go ahead too.
Well, again, it has to do with what you think of yourself. The real problem with what you're talking about as far as seeing a girl that doesn't have a certain amount of interest but still trying to go for her, it is the product of a man who thinks he deserves that type of treatment.
Right.
You understand? Because a lot of guys have a low opinion of themselves.
Yeah.
Secretly, they think they deserve for a woman to ignore them. Secretly, they think they deserve for a woman to treat them a certain way. You
Right.
understand? And the reason why they even have that low opinion of themselves is because they're not grateful for themselves. You understand? Their level of gratitude for their life, for themselves, for everything about them is low, because that's what they've been taught. Right? They've been taught to hate themselves. Like I said, with trying to prove yourself to a woman. Right? A woman doesn't understand male value. A woman can't understand male
Yeah,
value.
they really don't.
They really don't.
actually
So
crazy how
when I'm trying to
little they-
prove myself to a woman, what am I saying? I'm trying to look for my value in the opinions of a female. So when she gives me that dirty look, it reconfirms what the negative thoughts that I already had about myself. Right? But if I took the time to look at myself and be grateful for my life, for who I am, for the opportunity just to wake up, you understand, and be grateful, and even take the time to list these things, right? And then from that level of gratitude, show appreciation. Because you guys mess with real estate, correct? Appreciation is when something increases in value.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the first step is to be grateful. The second step is to appreciate what you're grateful for. So if I say I'm grateful for myself, I'm going to put appreciation on me. That means if I'm grateful for myself, I'm going to do things that improve my health. I'm going to do things that improve my life. I'm going to do things that improve my knowledge. I'm going to do things that improve my ability to make money. I'm going to improve my network. I'm going to do all these things. And that's what I'm going to be focused on. So you was talking about having the skill set to deal with women and to know when a woman is treating me a certain way as opposed to know when a woman is treating me correctly. That has everything to do with how I treat myself, because it is the lifestyle that I create for myself that teaches me how someone else should be treating me.
Exactly.
So if I spend my whole if I spend all my time thinking good, positive thoughts about me, and then I come across a person that somehow has a negative thought or treats me negatively, it's like I can instantly see I'm not supposed to be talking to this person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I can instantly. It's like a feeling, like ooh, like that doesn't feel right. I gotta go over here.
Energy's off.
The energy's off.
Yeah.
That's because the way I treat myself is like that's what I'm used to. You understand? I'm used to taking myself, for a steak. I'm used to taking myself to the gym. I'm used to reading books and studying things that enrich who I am and enhance who I am. So if I meet a woman and she can't enrich me, enhance me, add to my journey, then why would I fuck with her?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's when the skill set starts to come in. And on top of that, when you treat yourself a certain way, you understand? When you dress a certain way, you groom yourself a certain way, you speak a certain way, you have a certain mindset, that will attract the type of women that will treat you the way you're supposed to be treated, because they're going to see all that shit on you. You see what I'm saying?
And
Yeah.
also, I want to respond to what Myron's saying too about should you kind of keep talking to a girl that shows low
Yeah,
interest.
dealing with law interest women in general.
Right. And the answer is absolutely not. And this is what you guys have to understand. So I'm gonna give you an example. If you go on a date with a girl, first date, and you want to have sex with her, and you express that you want to have sex with her, and she tells you, let's wait, you should drop her immediately. Because this is what you got to understand. So what happens is this. Some guys will go on a second and third date and still have sex with her, maybe the third or fourth date, right? The problem, though, is that what happens is that you end up in a situation dating a woman who doesn't really like you. So let's say, for example, that same guy gets with that girl. He wants to have sex with her on the first date. She says, let's wait. I got to get to know you, whatever. They end up having sex on the fourth date. Then that guy marries that woman, right? What's going to happen is that that's going to be the same guy complaining that he's in a sexless marriage. Now, why did the sexless marriage happen? The sexless marriage occurred because when you first wanted to have sex with her, she denied you, which means she doesn't really like you. So she married you based on the fact that you're consistent, but when y'all got into the relationship, right, she was never sexually attracted to you like that, because if she was really sexually attracted to you, she would have had sex with you on the first date when you said you wanted to have sex.
Fact.
So now you're like, oh, well, how come I'm in this marriage and my wife doesn't want to have sex? Your wife never wanted to have sex with you. And that's because you were chasing a woman who wasn't really sexually attracted to you. And the reason why you were chasing a woman that wasn't really sexually attracted to you is because you didn't love yourself enough to only deal with women on your terms, to only deal with women who do what you want to do when you want to do it. Because if you did that, you would have dropped that girl on the first date when she wasn't doing what you wanted her to do. See, this is why a lot of guys are in sexist marriages. They got to sleep on the couch. You know, they're like, I'm in the doghouse. You see all that nonsense
like that, yeah.
because they don't got no game and they have no sense of self-worth. You see what I'm saying?